Hi, Jane Harrington here. I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up, and welcome to my workshop. Today, in this video, we are making this simple project. It does not take long to make it. It's very easy, no matter your skill level. So this particular one I made in the colors of Pool Party and Calypso Coral. So I'm going to change it up a little bit. We're going to use a different color and a different background. So I've decided to go with Bermuda Bay and Calypso Coral. So let me show you how to do this project. It's so super simple. It looks like a card, but when you undo the ribbon and you open it up, it's a trifold. Inside we have a tea bag. This is the perfect gift for someone who's been ill or someone who needs a pick-me-up. It's a great little friendship gift, and it does not take long to make it. So let me show you how. We're going to take a piece of Bermuda Bay. This is cardstock that is 8.5 by 11. And you'll notice when we open up our card base, look, it fits perfectly. So to measure this out along this edge here, I'm just going to line it up. I'm going to make a little mark right here. That's where I'm going to cut, so it's going to be the same size. Now, I pre-scored this, and your score marks are going to depend on the size of your tea bag. You could also make these larger and perhaps put a packet of hot chocolate or an oatmeal packet or something else in there as well. But, so, you know, really your score marks are going to depend on the size of your tea bag. So we need one at the top. I'm just going to mark that there since it's pre-made, or the same size. I need two down here, and the two scores account for the thicker end of the tea bag. Let me set that aside. So now we've got our mark to cut and we've got our marks to score. I'm bringing my Stampin Trimmer over, and I'm going to make one simple cut, and there we have it. I'm putting that paper aside, and now we need to score it on those score lines. Make sure you don't use your cutter for this because you could accidentally mistake them. I often do. So here's my score blade. I'm going to put one score mark there, move it up a bit, one score mark there, and then I will do the last one up top. Now we have 3 perfect score marks to fold our card beautifully, and it's not going to leave those ugly marks. You know what happens if you don't have scores on there. Okay, so there's our card base. That was really simple. Our Stampin Trimmer makes it very quick and easy. So the next thing you'll notice we need is our background paper. So you can use any scrapbook paper that you like. I am going to use the Tea Room Memories and More card pack. You can find this on page 15 with the Tea Room suite. Now what this is a card pack of pre-cut cards. They are double-sided. They're very thick and sturdy, so they're going to give you a very sturdy project. Some of them have foil, and there's a few acetate cards in here that you can overlay over things, as you can see. So you can use these for your card making. You can use these for your scrapbooking, for making gifts. You can use them in a lot of different ways. And some of them have lines on there. Perhaps you want to journal in your scrapbook. These are wonderful for journaling. This pack also comes with some larger size cards. So back here in these, you can see some of them are the foil, the gold foil. These are also double-sided. And here's another acetate. They also give us some stickers. So here are some tags, a butterfly, and some different stickers. Oh, that one got separated there. So there are 50 cards in this pack for $10. It's a very good deal. And I found that I'm using it quite often, a lot more than I expected I would. I'm going to move this aside because I've already chosen the color that I want to use. I've chosen this one from that pack. So this is going to serve as our background paper. But you'll notice it's a little bit too big. If I left it that size, we wouldn't have much around the edges, and so I just want to cut this down a bit. I'm going to eyeball it to where about I want it. Cut right about there, right about there. So back to my Stampin Trimmer, and I'm just going to put a cut there to cut the excess off, and then one more cut to cut it into 2 pieces. Now I have 2 perfect size pieces because The first one is going to go right on the top, and the second one is going to go on the inside fold, like so. See how that works? Okay, the first thing I need to do is I need to adhere this down. Here is our mono adhesive tape runner. And I'm just going to use a little bit here. You'll notice it's not messy, it's very fast. And our adhesives are sold on page 213 of the catalog. So there we go. Wow, it's already done. Bam, that quick. And I'll just put some on the back of this one. Line this one up with the bottom. Okay, so now we have a perfect trifold vessel to hold our tea bag. Okay, you see our tea bag is going to go right in there when we're ready. But we don't want to put it in yet because we still have some work to do first. Okay, now if you'll notice on this one, the next thing we need is this white oval. Okay, now you'll notice there's something special about this oval. It is stitched along the edge. I used my Big Shot, and here it is, stitched shapes. Now I'm going to show you how to use this Big Shot. You don't have to have a Big Shot to do this project. You can cut out an oval on your own, or a rectangle, or whatever shape you want. But I'm in love with not just my Big Shot, but with this particular die set. I'm going to show you what these framelit dies are like. I always cut out my framelits so that I know what size that I'm going to need, for a particular project. This is what they look like when they're cut out. Now these are the framelits themselves. They're little thin metal pieces, they're dies. And this set comes in circles, ovals, and squares. I'm going to choose the largest oval, okay? Let me set this aside. Now you get to see the magic of the Big Shot. When you get your Big Shot, now this is not the Stampin' Up! Big Shot, it's the same machine, but I don't have the Stampin' Up! Version yet. I will be getting it soon. So this is what it comes with. It comes with these tab things, and it tells you on each one what you use it for. Like this one is used for the embossing folders and so on. So you use the tab that goes with what you're making. I, though, want to use my magnetic platform because I tend to use this one more often than anything. The magnetic platform holds the die in place. So what you want to do is when you use your Big Shot, it's going to die cut for us. We're going to make a sandwich. First you need your platform, either this one or the precision one. Whatever platform you're using, you need to put the platform first. Then you put a clear cutting plate down. Now we need that white scrap of Whisper White cardstock, and then you put your die on. So notice that, you see the magnet's going to hold it in place so it's not going to move. So I've lined it up where I want it. Now the last part of the sandwich is putting the top cutting plate on. Now what we do is we load it through the Big Shot and turn the crank, and it's going to cut this out perfectly for us. Okay, so when we take out this little sandwich here, you'll notice that it is perfectly cut. You see there? You see that? So that is our Whisper White. Now, I'm going to set the Big Shot aside just for a moment. And I always put my dies back immediately because you don't want to lose these and you don't want to get them bent. If they get lost, they could get bent, and that can really affect the precision of your cut. And you don't want that to happen. So, I'm putting this aside. And the next thing we need to do is we need to stamp our image right on there. So I'm going to get my Calypso Coral ink pad. And, oh, here it is. This is my Stampin' Pierce mat. And I talked about this before. You don't have to have these to stamp, but they give you a very nice, crisp, clear image. Much more clear, in my opinion, than what just stamping on a hard table. So, I'm going to choose, this is the Time for Tea set on page 15. This Warmed with Love, Steeped in Friendship stamp. I'm going to choose that one. Now these, of course, are our cling stamps, and so they're going to cling right to the acrylic block. So I chose an acrylic block, and see how it just clings right on? It's removable and it just, you go like that. So now I'm going to open up my Calypso Coral ink pad. I'm going to load the ink. And because these are clear, these photopolymer stamps are clear, you can see right through. So I'm going to go toward the top of this one. I'm going to line it up where I want it, press it down, and now I have a perfect image. To clean my stamp, I'm going to spray the Stampin' Mist on the wet side, and I scrub on the wet, dry on the dry, and now it is ready. It's clean and dry and ready for another color if I wanted to use another color. But I don't need to use the stamp again, so I'm putting it back. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get ready for the next image we're going to be stamping. This is the teacup, so I'm going to set that aside until we are ready for it. Now, we're done with Calypso Coral. I'm closing that up. Here we go. And it's going to go right about there. So I'm going to come back over here again to my tape runner. I'm going to put some mono adhesive on. I didn't put it all the way down to the bottom because we don't want to glue it down to the bottom there. And I'm going to overlap right about like so and press it down. So there's that. Very simple. Okay, now we're going to come back to our Bermuda Bay. And I'm going to use this piece of Knit Macaron cardstock. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp my cup. Okay, so I loaded it up and I press down. Gives me a beautiful stamped image. Let me clean my stamp that quick and I'll put it back. Make sure you always put your cling stamps back right away because I've lost them. Because they're clear, sometimes they are hard to find and they get lost. Okay, I'm done with this ink pad as well. I'm moving that aside. So, now we've got our stamped image. Again, I could cut it out with scissors. I could totally do that. But why do it the hard way when we have the Big Shot? So here's the Spotted Tea Framelit dies. Now this corresponds or coordinates with the Time for Tea set. And that means that it's going to match perfectly. Whoops, this one fell off. And so it has some little tags here, but all of these dies coordinate perfectly with the stamp set. So you can cut these out without having to use scissors. It just makes it so much faster and easier. You don't have to have it, but ever since I got mine, I've sworn I will never go back to cutting things out by hand again. So here is my teacup, and you'll notice here, it is perfectly lined up. Whoops. Now this is where the magnet comes into play, so you want to line it up where the magnet is. It's going to hold it in place just like that. Now you see my teacup is already stamped. And so you can do it one of two ways. You can stamp first and cut it out, or you can cut it out and then stamp on it, whatever you prefer. So I'm loading here. Whoops, I moved it a bit. There we go. All right, I'm running it through the Big Shot, through our sandwich, and there it goes. And now you have a perfectly cut out teacup. Okay, so I'm going to put this right back. Again, we always put them right back so we don't lose them. Okay. And we are done with the Big Shot. So now, when we bring this over, we have our teacup that's going to go right there at the bottom. I could use my mono adhesive here, but I am going to do something different. I'm going to pull out some of my Stampin Dimensionals. Because I love dimensionals. They give your projects some pop, make them pop off the page. So I'm flipping my teacup image over. I'm going to put a dimensional there. I'm going to put a dimensional there. And you just peel off the back there like a sticker. Peel it off. Now we go like so. That is perfect. Now the last thing we need to do is take our tea bag. I'm just going to use, I'm going to use the mono adhesive run some on there, slide it in here, press it down. Now this is ready to go. The only other thing we need is a piece of ribbon. So we cut a piece. This is the 1/8 inch sheer ribbon in Calypso Coral. So you notice it's going to match the stamped image. It's the exact same color. That's the great thing about Stampin' Up! Everything's going to match because it's all same color. There we go. There's another gift that I can give. And you can write inside of it, you can write sentiments like a card. You know, maybe you want to stamp, you know, an I love you or get well soon, or handwrite something just like a card. So there you go. Very simple, quick and easy. I will include all of the supplies, the supply list in my links for the video. And, oops, I just totally messed that up too, huh? So I'm having a workshop. If you would like to order from the workshop, check out my host code. Go to stampinup.com, and when you check out, put in the host code, and I will get credit for what you order. If you have any questions at all about any of the projects or colors or products that we sell at Stampin' Up, go ahead and give me a buzz. You can email me at tumbleweedcrossing@gmail.com, or you can follow me on Facebook. I'm H. Jane Harrington Stampin' Up on Facebook, and I'm Calamities Stampede on Instagram. So you can follow me on any of those things, or you can ask me a question in the comments, and I will have that list for you up very soon. I will see you in the next video.